Folks, welcome to another episode of Psychic Roundtable tonight. We're having a little bit of a tech gremlin issue, so we're going a little bit more bare bones this time, but tonight's topic is what to expect when you're visiting a psychic fair. Some of the energies you should look for, some of the energies and vibes you should avoid, a few different things like that. We're going to be coming at this from the consumer's perspective, and I have a bit of an unfair advantage because of the way I was brought up, so I will interject as I go along. But tonight we have Earl, Pagan Radio, we have AngelLynn, our psychic medium, and we have Sheena from Divine Feminine Beauty. So here we go. Sheena, AngelLynn, and Earl. All right, folks.
We are here.
Wonderful. Now, I'm trying something a little different. When I asked you guys to share the link, I wanted it to share to the YouTube page, simply because of how many troubles we've been having with Facebook lately. So.
And I'm not real familiar with YouTube, so I kind of ignore that comment a little bit. But
no, just share it to your Facebook. That's all you have to do. Yeah. Okay. I'm just having you share the link to YouTube instead of Facebook.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I already have a Facebook event on, so we're good. Earl, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing okay.
Now, as I had said earlier, previously, I will probably have Dennis on here simply because he has a few years under his belt facilitating Des Moines New Age and Psychic Fairs, but we were set to have Stevie Lang on here from the Spirit Seekers Fair. She is having some personal issues going on, so she regrets to inform us she will not be available for this one, but to keep her in mind for the future. So, AngelLynn, this was your topic, and I want you to go ahead and take the lead on this.
Okay, so one of the reasons why I thought of this topic is because I did do the Metaphysical Fair this last weekend.
The Iowa Metaphysical Fair, the 37th annual.
Fair that every year goes on. And I got to thinking about it, and you know, we discussed many times, like, it's fair to pay us, it's fair to this, that, you know, different things that we expect. But I want to put out there, like, what the customer, the consumer, you know, can expect and maybe should look for, giving them some tips and ideas so that they can, you know, check it out before I've got a whole list of stuff for them, and everybody else does too, I'm sure.
Actually, no, I'm so zony, it's not even funny. I just came off of antibiotics, though, so yeah.
That does not do that to me.
It's probably something else. Anyways, but I will say we have covered quite a bit on what to look for in psychics.
We have, yes.
Different psychic fairs and things like that. But I'm very curious to hear your perspective after coming off of a large fair like Iowa Psychic Fair.
Right. That kind of thing. That's why I came out with it, is because that is a really big fair.
It is.
Attendance was down a little bit, but a lot of things were going on. I guess they reported that attendance was up, but in my perspective, like,
you could always tell.
Those around me, we you know, but I had an amazing time, and it was great, and the energy was very good.
Good.
So I got to thinking about what people going in there, because we've never discussed, like, their budgets, you know, their energies they're going to be picking up. You know, we have discussed before, I think, like, kind of the psychic you feel like drawn to. But like that one that I had, that the guy said, "You don't look like you have the money," and she sat down and did the reading anyways, I would have walked away.
Yeah, that's very disrespectful.
We discussed that. Yeah, that's extremely disrespectful. But like energy wise, and go ahead.
One of the things actually I also wanted to chit chat about real fast, because this one kind of took me by surprise when it happened to me. Whenever you're going into a metaphysical fair, a psychic event, anything like that, you have to make sure that the metaphysical fair is actually cleaning. Now, that's called energetic cleaning. So whether you're saging, whether you're sound bathing, and it has to be done throughout the fair. I prefer to do sound healings through it, energetic stuff, simply because when the fair gets to going, you got a lot of people coming through, so it's just better.
Yeah. What about the gongs? Like, I noticed they had the gongs; those work real well too. Or drumming, even.
Drumming, it's good, but it's not. You want that higher pitch.
Okay,
you want that real high chime pitch.
Right.
So
and that's not my forte, so that's awesome for bringing that up. I mean.
Well, I actually ran into some issues at different metaphysical fairs who were not cleaning well enough. Also, you have to make sure they are informing all the vendors. If you are doing cleansings or anything like that, you have to be disposing of the entities properly. And you have to be disposing of the energy properly, because a lot of the fairs let people in that, and they don't brief them on it.
Right.
You know, I've been lucky. Well, okay, not lucky.
I think that's probably kind of common. You just kind of open your doors and you don't think about briefing the customer, you know.
Unfortunately, you
or
have
other
to.
purveyors. Yeah.
No, you have to. As a metaphysical fair owner and as a new age shop owner, you don't get a choice. Okay, I mean you do, but it's a bad one. You know, so you have to make sure metaphysical shops, psychic fairs are cleansing. And then you also have to make sure, not just before and after, but throughout and during. And then you have to make sure that their practitioners are aware of, well, proper practices. So the other thing I would tell everybody that goes to a metaphysical fair, psychic fair, honestly, any place, like hospitals, anything, make sure you have your personal protectionary crystals on, or oils, whatever works for you, whether it's wearing on you, wearing black tourmaline, obsidian,
and how to use them, what they're for.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm probably going to end up doing an article on that.
No, that would be great. I heard about people, that would be really awesome.
But the thing is, you've got to thank you.
Thanks, Earl. My eye.
Crystals for psychic self-defense. That is one thing that
Earl, you're so handy to have around.
You are, Earl. That's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about, you know, and it's all wonderful and love and light, but
you don't not everything is love and light in this
garbage home. Yeah. So that being said, I have some thoughts about psychics and such, but I want you to take this, AngelLynn. So,
well, I mean, I obviously I would love Sheena and Earl, you know, because they've done them too, and I would like our clientele or the customers watching or whatever they want to actually, if they have questions, now's a great time to be asking.
Yes, it is.
You know, get them involved in what we're doing. Yeah, kind of interactive here.
Ishika says, hey Ishika, she's tuning in from YouTube.
That's how are you? Yeah.
And thank you for joining us.
Back. I think one of the first things I wrote is what to expect for yourself. Okay. Are you bringing your family? Are you coming by yourself? Are you bringing a friend?
Yes.
You know, so all of that will play a role into what you're going to expect and what, you know, like you said, the cleansing. They're not going to know if it's getting done or it hasn't been done per se. Let's put it that way.
And I will mention, be careful bringing small children and infants. Make sure they have protection on them. That whole thing about them being metaphysically protected till they're 7 is a complete myth. Protect them up.
Right. Yeah, and I've never heard that 7 year. I mean, I've always thought like the age 12, so to speak. But yeah, that's not true.
Nope.
And one thing that I am trying to talk these other event coordinators into doing, because when I'm at the basically anytime I'm at Alicia's event for the psychic fair, I've always got background music
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna, yeah, that's in my notes.
Music going on, and that's why I've been trying to talk these other places, these other vet coordinators into allowing me to do for them.
Actually, most of your psychic
I
fairs
can't work without it. I need that background chatter.
Well, most of your psychic fairs, and I caught a lot of flack when I first started doing the trance music and the upbeat. And even some of the psychics, they were really pissed at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, because you've got to keep the energy up. You don't want dead
Right.
tunes. How many psychic fairs have you been at where you're just sitting there, you're falling asleep because it's that dead time?
Yes.
You want to keep that energy up and moving. And once the end of the first fair hit, a lot of the people that had been against it were like, you know, I feel like I could go out and party afterwards. I feel good. I'm like, yeah, and that was the whole point.
Right. Right.
So,
no,
yeah.
Absolutely. Because I know it drains me, you know,
Mhm.
especially getting older, but that 11 to 8 is,
Yes.
that's a long damn day, man.
Okay, so you want to be 11 to 8 both days on the spooky season fair. Got it. No worries.
Yeah, right. I mean, if I'm aware of it, I could like go drink some caffeine or something.
Oh no, baby, we're gonna have rave tunes the entire time. And by the way, guys,
Oh God, no heavy metal.
it's a possibility that we may also have a concert going on. I cannot believe it. Somebody else wants to hold an event on the same day. Ed Burl Hay came to me as like, hey, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do a concert. Yeah,
draw the people in. That's great. Yeah, I know that one's gonna be amazing too.
Well, we'll see. I want to talk to the guy and actually chit chat with him and be like, hey, baby, you want to hold it in conjunction? Let's do it.
Right. Right. I mean, both of you can advertise for each other, so there's some free advertising there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots too.
Anyway,
so I think one of my first thing was like, I wanted to go over write their questions down. Don't be afraid to ask us anything. Looks like somebody else joined us too there.
Sarah Steiger. Any relation to Brad Steiger, by the way? Anyway, he's one of my favorite metaphysical authors.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the name.
He says, hi all. Hello, my dear, and I love your chakra bindies. Okay, and then Sarah Reading Steiger, love a message if you're doing them. Okay, guys, you got message for Sarah?
I think after we go over all this, maybe.
Okay.
I mean,
all right, Sarah, let AngelLynn
give it time to like sink in. I don't have anything in. I'm not pulling card. I don't do cards, so. But our card people are on right now, so.
Yep.
Jump in anytime, and if you got anything to add, like add on to what I'm saying, Sheena and Earl and Alicia, please.
Sarah. I'm a high priestess and alchemist. Awesome. Sarah, not sure. Okay.
First walking in is that, like you said in the beginning, protect yourself. A barrier, think of a bubble, think of whatever works for you. Use the stones that work. There are certain stones that work better than others. I am not the stone expert, but I do know of them, and I do know which ones I like and done, you know, that work for me.
Sarah, yes, indeed. Okay, I think Sarah's going to have some stuff to say about this. All right.
Go ahead.
You also want to put yourself in a really upbeat vibe once you come, when you're going in the door.
As the reader, I do the same thing, actually.
Simply because, well, as a vendor, I always have to do it no matter what, because I'm on the sales floor.
Absolutely.
But as a consumer going in, I'll put myself in a positive headspace, but I will be very quiet when I'm walking around. One of the things I do is I walk around and I observe everybody, and I'm just kind of stealthily feeling them out.
I think you do that, yeah.
I blend into the crowd and I fade into the background so I can actually get a good idea of what they're really like. And the best thing to do is be absolutely quiet. You want to just observe them, because if I see somebody trying to pull a fast one, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to walk on by. And my
that's a good way for the consumer. Yeah, know what you're looking at. Know, you know, take your time.
I do have an unnaturally high bullshit detector.
Well, true.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think people have that anyways. They just need to
trust it.
If it's your very first one, you're like a kid in a candy store. It's exciting. It's fun. You're bouncing off the walls sometimes. But try to mentally slow yourself down. Walk in there and walk around. You know, slowly. Give yourself that time. Especially like we were open 11 to 8, which by Saturday night, after 5, it's pretty dead. But there's a plenty of time during the day to come and do that. Take your time, and who you're drawn to, walk by a couple times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't just jump on it.
Whether that's reader or merchant.
Exactly. Yes.
And I'm going to tell you why. And you're not always looking for the lowest or the highest price. You're actually looking for the one that you resonate with, because again, merchants should be cleaning their stuff, but some of that energy is going to leak onto the merchandise you take home. So keep in mind, whoever you're buying from, if they're really nasty and you want to buy it because it's a low price, okay, but you're going to have to clean it before you get it to the car. Now, if you like them, keep in mind you're going to be taking some of that energy home.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And other people will walk by and touch it as well. So
yeah, that too.
Yeah, you're getting kind of a whole ball of wax there. But one of the main things I think you should know is your budget.
Okay.
Before you go in. I think that's healthy. I think, we're not there to steal your money, or at least I'm not. And I know most of the ones I know are not.
Okay. AngelLynn, unfortunately,
but
when
there are those out there. Yes.
No, when I'm at a crystal fair or a metaphysical fair, I already know I'm going to ruin my budget. Okay.
Right.
See,
right.
It's over.
Yep.
Okay. Jesus.
But at the same time, it's nice to have it there. You know what I mean?
I can be like, I am only going to spend $50, and my husband will start laughing.
My Capricorn
right?
What, Sheena?
I said my Capricorn rising could never.
It's like, I got $50. He's like, well, there goes our budget.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, for newer people too, or even people that's been around, it's just a good idea to have some kind of a budget. Make it 50 to 100 or whatever, and that's why you kind of walk by places several times.
Yep.
Ooh, that sounds interesting, Sarah.
Sarah, I also wrap crystals and make meditation crowns from feathers from spirit. I'm also family. Fairies and jinns. I have pics of ghosts and different beings. It's beautiful.
Have it all too, Sarah. That's awesome.
I'm learning everything still, so it's been an amazing journey. Ooh, I also smell spirit. Ooh, now that's an interesting
that makes sense.
Consentient, yeah.
I did get a message
outside.
You got a message for her? Hold on, Sarah.
It
Go
was
ahead, Sheena.
I was getting the song like, if you're lost, I will find you time after time.
Oh yeah.
Cindy Lauper.
That's like old.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that either she feels disconnected from like her heritage or a certain ancestor or spirit, what they're relaying is, look a little deeper, or maybe look through time, or there's something that has to do with time or through time, or if feeling lost, but they're basically saying
the answers are there.
Yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
Totally agree with that. That was a good song to relate to that, I think.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Sarah, I'm pretty sure this is connection to psychic fairs. Everything's pricey. Yes.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Only
and that's
going
why
up.
kind of like, again, you want to kind of know your budget. If you can't afford it, then I know for me, I work with people, and I'm only going to talk about myself personally on that. It's just who I am, how I am. I do have a set price, but at the same time, I do help, I work with people because I know, everything's expensive in this world.
Yeah.
And it's not getting easier for people. But at the same time, we all are worth something as well. That peace of mind, can really help you go along. When your emotions are intact, it helps a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes too, you're kind of called to spirit, whether the person has the means or not, to give them a message or or healing of some kind.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, like, I don't just get edged. It's just like, it just comes out. I can't help it.
Yeah.
So, and that's totally on me. And I know that. And I'm okay with it.
Okay, I've got a card for Sarah.
Hold on. Sarah says, yes, I love that song. I actually listened to that the other day. Amazing.
That's cool.
Right on, sister.
Sheena, you've been on a roll.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, Earl, go ahead, babe.
Earl.
All right. The card I've got, Sarah, here is actually the Two of Swords.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Basically, if you've got changes coming up, just go with the flow. Stay on track. And if it's positive changes, just let it go and let it come. Stay true to yourself. And yeah, just try to keep a positive mental state as much as possible.
Well, along with that, Earl, the theme of the week seems to be being present. Like, I love to be in that world, but there are times that I have to make myself sit down and go, okay, you got to pay the bills. You got to deal with life situations.
Yeah.
You can't always run from it. So that kind of goes along with that, Earl. Be present, but be mindful of.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. And with the Saturn change up 2 coming this weekend,
I was hoping you could help that.
it's going to be quite a shakeup.
Oh my God, don't tell me that.
Especially when it gets close to the new moon, and that's coming up too. It's going to be, and it's not going to be bad. It's just going to be like a lot of changes through the summer. And that's just kind of like a glimpse of what's to come next.
Well,
When is the new moon?
It's next week.
I thought it was soon.
I've been so off the track, right?
You've been busy.
Yeah.
I was going to say. Hold on. Sarah, thank you. Okay. Awesome, Sarah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate the question.
Yeah, changes do seem to be the theme, and you can make them really massive and they can hurt you, or you can, like Earl said, you got to kind of go with the flow, but don't ignore them because then it will get worse.
Yep.
Make yourself present in that moment, deal with it, and then you can leave if you want for a moment or two. Kind of balance it, do a balancing act.
Yep.
Well,
Go ahead, babe.
If there are changes coming, just go with it. Don't try to
Fight it sometimes.
Yeah, don't try to fight it.
Yeah.
And you got to figure Saturn hasn't been in Aries, I think, for like 30 years.
Holy cow.
And
Yeah. That's
Saturn doesn't like to be in Aries because Saturn's very like strict and wise, and Aries is very like rash and fiery, and
well, our Saturn retrograde is coming up, and that's going to slow things down a lot. It's going to make everything about 10 times harder. That combined with Chiron and
slow
Pluto.
things down how, Alicia? I'm sorry. Like, what do you mean by that? Like,
Saturn retrograde means you're going to have to work 10 times harder for everything you're doing and everything you want.
okay.
So Saturn retrograde, Saturn being in Aries, that's going to be a lot of forward motion. That's going to be a push-pull dynamic.
Aries kind of, I noticed the Aries that I've been around, and they do tend to get what they want, and they will go get it. So that might be a little help to it. I don't know if that's.
I was kind of terrified because my sun and my Mars is in Aries, and I had to tell you, I was terrified. I was like, no.
Well, but at the same time, it's just this whole year's theme is willpower, maximum effort. But at least we have the power back in our hands.
Right.
Last year was the roller coaster, and you were strapped in and you weren't getting off. So you better just hang on, baby.
You're right. Yeah.
And
I feel like the big change came after that.
Seems like no matter what the retrograde is that it always screws with Sagittarius.
I'm sorry. Are you a Sagittarius? No.
Yeah, he is.
I know.
No, it's not
Always
really.
screws with me.
It messes with everybody. But what I always tell people, and Sheena, what are your thoughts on this? What I always say is never blame the stars. The stars are a roadmap. That if we actually follow it, it's going to keep us out of those rocky places. It's going to help us across the rivers and stuff like that. But we just have to be aware enough to follow it.
I like the idea of you calling it a roadmap. That's really cool.
That's exactly what it is. And it's a guide to help you, not hinder you. It's to help you understand how to get the storm.
Yeah.
Now, I will back on topic just for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I will mention I'm not trying to slam people that are doing this. Please don't take it that way. We have a lot of psychic shops and a lot of psychic fairs popping up. Okay. A lot are folding and a lot are popping up.
Right.
And
it's interesting.
Well, I love it, but the problem is not all of them are coming from a place of
right, and some are fake. They're scams. Like,
okay, well, I wasn't going to say that, but not all of them are coming from a place of
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell if you start.
I'll come right out and say it.
Yeah,
it's not really that hard to tell which ones are authentic and which ones aren't.
Right.
All I have to do is
you though. We talked about last week though. I mean, that was. Thank God Dennis took over the talking to him because that was crazy.
What?
They were ready to take your money.
Oh.
That one Dennis talked to that day with the shop.
Yeah. Well, those were actual scammers, but I'm talking about people that are legitimately selling goods and booths and fairs that may not be super authentic. And
right.
It was funny. You've met Angel, Saturn, and they believed that all the antique stores, all the shops, everything, they believed that these people cleansed their stuff.
No.
And I love the reaction, but they were very rudely awakened.
Yeah.
To the fact because they bought a haunted item and brought it into my shop.
Oh my goodness.
And then proceeded to try and clear it in the shop. And I'm like, whoa.
Oh my God.
Whoa. And I know when the universe does a teachable moment. Okay.
Right.
I get it. I'm there. Katie was there and she's a Reiki worker and everything. So it worked out okay.
Right. Was that this last weekend?
Yep. But Satai honestly thought that all antiques.
Well, yeah, she wouldn't have known.
Well, no, I mean, nobody takes that kind of responsibility, not even psychic shops. But the worst part is you expect a psychic shop and a psychic fair to do it. And a lot of times they do not, whether they don't know about it, don't believe it needs to be done, which is a lot of time, or whether they are not authentic and they're just doing this to make a buck.
Right.
One of the best ways you can tell if a psychic shop is real, go in and ask them, basic crystal. Look them dead in the eyes and go, well, I really need something for cleansing, and be very innocent. I really need something for cleansing. So amethyst? You guys laugh.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, no. Okay, but start and ask them multiple things. Just a few things that everybody should know.
Right.
With psychic fairs, when you go in the door, if you really want to shake up the front door help, ask, so do you use sage or Palo Santo to cleanse?
Right.
And if they look at each other and look at you like dodo birds, if you want to continue with the fair, I totally encourage that. But make sure you are warded up to the nines and you call out an angel or something, because
yeah, that's kind of one of the things I was going to bring in next was all the energies around you. I mean, like we've already halfway discussed, they come from all over. People come from out of state. They come from different countries. They're
bringing
different beliefs. Yes.
Yep.
And here's another thing. There's a lot of energy that is attracted to that massive amount of energy.
Absolutely.
Plus, if the psychic fair promoters have not done their research, they could be over a ley line node, which is going to make it even wilder.
Right.
So, yeah.
Do I need to make sure to bring this with me?
Yep, you're going to need to.
What?
Anyway.
What's that? Cosmic psychic. What was that last line?
Psychic crystals for self-defense.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Okay. Yes, a lot of
balance, Sarah. Yeah.
My yin and yang. Sarah, I'm Pisces 311. Woo!
Oh, I love
Pisces.
Yeah.
Sarah, I'm also Lyran Starseed. Nice.
Oh, very nice.
I also talk to spirit through candle flame. Nice. I got a flame reader. It's always fun to watch her work.
Where's she from?
Yeah.
Sarah, where are you from? Sarah readings. Yes. She said yes to the psychic fair business. Anyway, go ahead, AngelLynn.
With all the energies coming at you, Keep yourself balanced so that you're not overwhelmed walking in the door. That's that. Slow yourself down. I mean, I watch people that come through and they are literally, they want a reading so bad that they are marking in their little, they're looking through the pamphlet that they get, right?
Mhm.
And they are running to the tables without realizing they could be passing something up. Something could hit them in the face, energy wise. All that chatter that's going on, even though I like the background noise, but I that's how I've always worked my whole life. It works great for me. But a lot of people, it doesn't work for. So keep your headspace in a good space, if that makes sense.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stay grounded, would you say?
Grounded is a very good one. Put some petrified wood in your car for a week or something.
I know, right? Actually, you can also take hematite in with you.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. Hematite's very strong.
Yeah, you can also take hematite with you. But I always encourage, I am passionate about black tourmaline, obsidian, and selenite. You can also throw in some citrine. That way you make sure your self-esteem is up and on the level. But if you're not in a good...
that balances with the citrine balances with the selenite, doesn't it? Pretty well. No.
Well, everything balances with selenite. It's a cleansing stone.
True.
But no, citrine is, well, it does attract money and opportunity and wealth.
I love citrine.
But citrine is big on self-esteem care. That's your solar plexus chakra care. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, I traded for a huge chunk of citrine from Angela. I love that thing.
Oh, I bet.
Oh man, it's so pretty. Oh, but
yeah, I saw her Saturday or Sunday, one of those 2 days.
She just survived a car accident. Jesus.
What?
Oh yeah.
When?
A few weeks ago. Whooped her ass.
Oh, okay.
Totaled the vehicle.
She looked good Saturday or Sunday. She looked pretty decent. Anyways.
But by the way, people have been nuttier on the roads.
Yeah, they have.
They have been crazy.
Several years now, actually. It's only getting worse.
It's gotten a lot worse probably in the last month or two. Sheena, anything to add on that?
The only thing I could say is like the switching of planets recently. Everything's been just kind of like, and yeah. Wait for summer. It's going to be quite a ride.
Yeah. Be aware of what's going on around you, for sure. So also the other thing is too is many people don't realize they are empaths. Like it's a big gift, but a lot of more people I have found in doing this work, my clients, my customers, they are very empathic than a lot of psychics that I even know. And so they got to learn to block, separate, balance, all that good stuff, which the stones will help. Now,
I'm going to give y'all a good tip as an empath. Real good tip. Now, Sheena, empath, correct?
Me? Yeah, that's
what I thought. Okay. As an empath. And here, yep, that was very pointed. Nice, Sheena. As an empath, before you go into any psychic fair or any gathering, especially if it's pretty strong, you drink a big cup of coffee or some sort of caffeine. You get the caffeine in your system. It acts as a blocker.
I did not know that. That's a good tip.
Almost every empath I know is addicted to caffeine.
I drink caffeine anyways, but
I was gonna say, yeah, I didn't even think of that, but
yeah,
almost every single one is addicted to caffeine in some way or another. My dad didn't even realize what he was doing. He was a huge coffee addict for years, and then he had to quit. And man, his world got rocked. Okay.
Yeah.
I had to do about 1.5 years with no coffee because I had some health issues I had to straighten out. And I still had to do fairs at that point. It sucked.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because
I remember bringing you one all the time.
I know.
I was late, but I got your coffee.
I know, right? I appreciate that. But no, there would be times when after a show, after vending, I would just have to go to the bathroom and get sick. Everything would come out.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't anything I ate or anything else. And Dennis always wondered what the heck was going on. After he started learning about some of this stuff, he's like, oh. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I would be
It's weird because I can drag from not having it sometimes, but I don't seem to notice it when I don't have it. Although once in a while I'll be halfway through the day going, man, why am I so dragging?
you're a psychic medium. They work differently. Remember, my dad's the same
True.
way. When you guys are actually doing readings, that
Mhm.
energy is just constantly cycling through. You
All
guys
the time.
don't seem to have the drag.
Right.
Another medium I talked to, Don Davis, he doesn't feel anything from the spirits or anybody. There's no empath quotient on it.
Mhm.
He just speak. He has the gift, so he's not actually taken up and carried away with the spirit's emotions or anybody else's. So it doesn't.
Isn't that fine? He does what with the spirit's emotions?
No, he has no empathic connection. There's no feeling to it.
Okay.
For him, he's just having a conversation with somebody.
Oh,
And
got
that's
it.
it. You know, he doesn't feel any of the grief or the
Mhm,
fear, or the
mhm.
pain, you know, and
I
psychic
kind of
mediums,
can relate to that. Yeah.
yeah, psychic mediums are a completely different ball of wax.
Mhm.
I
And
had to learn that when they get up from my table, I do not ever.
Nothing. Yeah.
I still have the empathy for them, but I've learned that it has to go with them because I have my own, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm a human too. At the end of the day, we're not superheroes.
Only certain people are built for that.
Right. Right.
Okay. Yes. Can I talk to spirits? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to? No.
Oh, I know a lot of people that haven't done want to. Yeah.
I don't. Okay.
And I really think it's funny when they
problem.
fight it. Yeah.
You know?
and with me, I've got a double whammy. Not only being an empath,
Mhm.
but when I was running as a first responder,
Oh.
I was picking up on emotions and pain.
Yeah.
And
Physical
I
pain.
really had to keep shield. I had to learn how to keep shields up almost 24/7.
Oh
Then
yeah.
actually, Earl,
Yeah.
I want you to write an article about shielding them. Because as a first responder with that, yeah, that would be very
Especially being a
helpful.
first responder because a lot of them are very intuitive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Which
and
is awesome, but
first time it occurred for me, and I think you all know this story. When that first hit me, there's no clue was, but no, it was going down the road, transporting someone into Des Moines, and so basically my well, I don't know if it was my guides or what, but they were telling me, no, you're not supposed to be doing this. You need to turn around and go home. And the whole way, it just was almost made me sick. And it wasn't until we left Methodist Hospital downtown that I seen both choppers going out. And come to find out that there had been a bad 2-car collision behind us.
Wow.
I had never heard that story from you.
Yeah, and that
wow.
took a toll on me because I had my inner voices telling me that no, you're not supposed to be doing this. You need to turn around, and go home.
Right.
And I was kicking myself in the ass over that one for a long time.
You know, I had a message one time. My 2 boys, we were all in Des Moines. Matthew got strep. He broke out in a rash. And it's high fever with rash. He was sick. So John was having some other health issues. Anyways, I was running around with 2 boys in Des Moines. And we were finally done after a 16-hour days with hospitals and other stuff going on. And we were driving home, and I heard a voice say, "You're going to hit a deer." So immediately I tell Spirit, John had a 7 or a Ford, what are they called? 751s or whatever they are. So they had the grill on the front, big truck. And I lay back, and I'm in the back seat, right? Which is rare. I do not like being in the back seats of those kind of trucks. And I remember telling Spirit, I said, "Can you just take care of that?" Because I was so tired. And I assumed they were going to do it. They were warning me. I did not tell John, "Hey, be careful, watch out for deers." You know, I didn't need to tell him I heard a message. All I needed to say was, "Hey, watch out for deer." I didn't do that because I thought Spirit was going to take care of it. And we got down by the Mitchellville exit, and we hit a deer. A big buck came out of the middle, the medium. Thank God for that grill
Mhm.
but it almost wiped out me and my 2 boys. So, and I was being psychically attacked at the time when that happened from another psychic. I was not happy. Almost wiped out me and my family, basically.
That is one of the things when people do hex work and psychic attacks. Those people really do not give a flying frill
No,
if
they
you lose your
don't.
kids or anything. They're just
Right.
like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like.
Yeah.
I remember I sat down with one particular, we'll just call them people, and I said, "You trying to attack me?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why don't you use that to stop child trafficking in your area?
Right.
You're powerful enough to do it. Why are you doing this?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Well, you hate dark work," and I'm like, "As long as it doesn't have to do with kids, I don't care what you do." They're like, "What?" It's like, as long as it doesn't have to do with kids.
They're making a judgmental call on you in the first place.
No, it was what they heard about me.
Right, exactly.
You know, and they're like, "Oh my God." And they are the only ones to back off and say, "Never mind. Actually, you gave us a good idea." I'm like, "Good. Okay. Bye-bye."
Right.
You know?
Right. Use it for good.
But they are the only ones I have respect for because they actually went
Absolutely. Yeah.
And put it to a good use.
Exactly. It's okay for us to be wrong or admit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. I love that story. Actually,
You know, I was like, "Why are you coming after me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to come knock on your door. I got my own stuff." You know?
Yeah.
But we had a common ground. We both cared about kids.
Right. Right.
Now, most of the other people that do this, no, they don't care about anything. And that I don't like.
Right. Right.
Yep.
But I mean, if you're gonna have enough power to psychically attack someone or hex someone so well that it has a dramatic physical effect on the physical plane in their life, then you can do a lot of other really cool stuff.
Oh, I totally protect myself against this certain situation.
No, I know, but if you take it out of that.
Exactly. Why don't they use it to get rid of really evil stuff in the world?
Yeah.
They're worried about your little happy ass. No.
You know, I mean, come on now.
I mean, you're not out there harming people.
I'm here in Des Moines, Iowa somewhere.
Right.
I'm just doing my thing. I'm living my life.
Exactly.
Okay, I don't care.
Why are my words coming after? Go do something that's really important.
Yeah, go do something important. You know? Yeah. I mean, we're all important, yada, 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 blah, blah. But seriously, go do something really cool and worthwhile.
Exactly.
Yep.
But
in any aspect of it, period, because I've never understood it.
Yeah, I think most of us don't, that are with a true heart, you know, or with true spirit, so to speak.
I 100% understand getting mad at somebody. Well, if it's justified, I 100% understand wanting vengeance. I mean, hell.
We're human. Yeah.
You know, I'm an adult. I will be tried as one. That's why some places are still standing and not burned down. Okay. You know, but there are just a lot bigger problems in the world than person to person.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I can't see you being someone who needs retribution for doing something evil to somebody, you know? I just can't see it.
Mm-mm.
No, retribution, yeah, definitely. I'm definitely a person that likes it, but I also have other stuff to do.
There's healthy respect for it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I mean, what I'm saying is I can't see you as an individual that someone will be like, I've got to get you because you're
I know, right?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know.
Same.
But I mean, we're all the villain in somebody's story, I think.
Yeah, very true.
You know?
Right? Aren't we?
Yeah.
We have no clue why, but we are.
Yeah. What, Earl? What?
I'll plead the fifth.
I probably have a whole story like Maleficent, you know.
Yeah, I know, right? Ooh, that's another thing. Of all the Disney villains, which one would we be?
Oh, who?
Disney villains.
Yeah,
okay.
no, Sheena, who'd you say?
Maleficent.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. The only one I can remember is Cruella.
Oh God, that does not fit you at all, AngelLynn. You love dogs.
I know.
I would have to say of all the villains, I think
What do you see me as? How's that? You know me best. Well, for years too.
I can't see her as a villain. I can't.
Right?
Yeah.
It's hard to picture yourself there when your mind isn't there, but.
You know,
See?
I don't know.
I know. See, I couldn't think of any either.
Villain.
Maybe Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
See, I can't even see that. I see you as like the Moana grandma, the one that's always like giving wise words to the
right.
Whole, I'm the crazy lady of the village.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I am too. And I have fun with that shit. Once again, I'm going to tell the audience, if they're listening, feel free to make comments or ask us any questions about this, because I was going to jump off, like, not necessarily the energy. Yes, indeed, Sarah.
Yes, indeed. And then, yes, so true. And Poison Ivy. Ooh, is that for AngelLynn or for yourself, Sarah? Wow.
Poison, yeah.
Poison Ivy.
Okay. I got some uses for that. She just made my head go around. No.
And you like flowers, yeah.
Exactly. You see my garden.
Honestly, you know what? If AngelLynn actually went villain, she'd probably be a Harley Quinn. Just for the chaos factor.
Yeah.
Earl, what would you be? I got
the alter ego on the mask.
Ooh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Good choice. I like that.
Okay, Sarah, yes, me, and then Sarah, yes, Harley. Oh, wow. Ouch, AngelLynn. Harley Quinn. I think for me, I would definitely be Disney's version of Hades.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
I might actually do a gender bend cosplay of that if I do another anime convention.
See Hayes as being a villain, though. I don't look at him that way.
The Disney version of him as a villain.
Yeah, I know. Still, I mean, hell, I've been compared to Hades.
Well, Hades is not actually a villain in Greek mythology. He's probably one of the hardest working of the gods.
Yeah.
Other than Demeter.
Yeah, he's just mad that he got they put him downtown and gave him all the work while they all have fun.
Yeah. But he came out on the good end of it with me.
Yes.
Sarah, I love Harley. Oh wow. Harley Quinn is always kind of a scary figure for me, but simply because of her original dynamic. But I like how they're actually hooking her up with Poison Ivy and giving her a healthy relationship. I like that a lot better. Anyway, back to the empath stuff. If you're an empath, chug caffeine before you go into that fair and have your stones on you. Also do your oils. So some sort of grounding oil and a protection oil. I like Palo Santo oil or cedar, but those are my
oils do it very actually almost as good, if not better, than some stones. Personally, I'm thinking.
That's what I think, because you can infuse them with so many different energies.
Right.
Not just one.
That's why I will have a coffee maker with me.
Uh-huh.
A coffee maker with what?
A coffee maker with them.
Yeah, I will have a coffee maker with me at my setup. Yes.
Yeah, I know. Because you're gonna be like.
We'll just get you a hose to suck on.
Yeah.
Get the beer tap.
Hold on, Sarah. She don't play no games, Miss Harley. Then.
So with all those different energies coming at you, and we talked about the background noises and the chatter and all of that, walking around connecting with who you want. I kind of want to go in what you also see there as well. Like your books, your stones, your readers, your so much more. And I want to jump in there.
Crystals. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway. That's why I say know your budget a little bit, because not only are you going to get a reading, you're going to want stones. There's jewelry. There's so much amazing things.
I am so bad. I never get readings. I just go for the stuff. It's like crystals.
Right.
This is like, I've lost her.
Well, you can read for yourself too, so that does help.
Well, sometimes when you get...
And I have a few burners that I'm going to be using too.
Oh, wow.
Wow, what is that?
Incense burner.
No, nice.
You got to be careful because we're not supposed to be burning stuff in the hallways. No. And they've been really nice to me, so I'm not going to flaunt their rules. If they were dicks, that would be a totally different thing. But when somebody's nice to me, I have no problem following their rules. But no, I never bother with the readers. But when you get emotionally out of balance, then you actually have to have some perspective. But right. I will only go to a reader I actually know and trust has a good intuitive gift, because a lot of readers, they have really good intentions, but they don't always have a good line.
Right. If it's your connection, and I mean, not everybody's supposed to be a reader anyways. It's not the easiest job in the world, trust me. Especially like for me, I don't use any tools or any cards or anything. I totally go off with spirit. So the connecting, and I'm constantly changing energies, in 15 minutes, especially at a fair, because they're doing 15-minute readings. Now, my people, we have it booked at 20 minutes because they know I'm going to go over. Exactly. If I'm in the middle of an important message, I'm not going to stop it. And the next person, I've never really had anybody not understand that. Yeah.
And anybody who doesn't understand that or
be there, right,
gets in your face, just be like, okay, look, you need to take a walk around the fair, take a lap,
right?
Pull some selenite and calm the
hell
down, you know.
Yeah.
But
and so it's
no, a lot of
people, I like to give baby readers chances, because some of them, they're genuine readers and they're just starting out and just
right. And there's that too. Yeah, I'm glad we're bringing this up. Yeah.
Well, and I love that, Sheena. But the other thing is, and I'm going to say this, a broken clock is right twice a day. So even if the person does not have any actual gift or anything else, they might have an important message for you,
right,
specifically, because a lot of times stuff will talk through them. Kind of like when stuff comes on the radio or the TV that's going to catch your attention.
Guides, the song that perfect example that pops in your head.
Well, Sheena, she actually channeled that in, but I'm talking about when your guides are trying to talk to you and you're not listening.
Right.
Okay.
And the message.
Yeah. So they will get your attention somehow. That's actually one of the first things I teach in Spirit Guide Basics.
Right.
They're going to talk to you. You just have to listen.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that
it's hard to tell the difference. That's what I teach in my classes is,
knowing
who's saying what, or knowing that voice, and it's like any gift or any job, actually. The more you do it, the more you're used to it, the more you recognize it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can't always go off signs, because Spirit will say, it's like that's one of the Charmed episodes. She gets to like the end of the road and it's like under construction, so there's a sign going right, left, or straight. You know what I mean? It's like, which way do I go? So you don't always get clear answers either.
No.
Exactly.
Sarah, my head felt like a radio the other day. I was trying to go to bed and heard like static in my head, like a radio. It was different.
I know what that was.
Mm-hmm. Sarah, I'm a new reader, and this one, I like this. Sarah, Spirit throws cards out for me. That how I do it. Okay.
That has been happening to a lot of tarot and oracle readers. I've noticed since the starting of the year.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
No. When Spirit really wants to get your attention or something, they will also toss books off the shelf or will flip open to a specific page. Now, what I normally do if it flips open to a page is I'll read it down. I'll see which part connects with me, but I'll read it out loud so as, they can kind of give a yes or no sign.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
And reading out loud too also puts you in the moment, so you're actually reading it, like you're getting the message.
Although some spell books and stuff don't read out loud, but you know, just regular books read out loud.
That cancel button does work, just so everybody knows.
Okay. Sarah, my journey's been hard. I'm trying to understand spirit more. It's a toughie.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody's got I think everybody has to figure out how their gifts work. Like for me, I couldn't understand for the longest time why I could not connect with tarot cards, because I don't like to read tarot cards, because what I hear and what I feel is completely opposite to what the tarot cards go by. So that's why I do oracle.
Interesting you say that, because I've had messages from spirit, yet my gut will say that's not the right answer.
Yeah.
It's rare, but it does happen. As a clairvoyant, clairaudient, I'm like, oh, no. When I have that gut feeling, I don't care what you're going to throw at me. It's never not let me down. It's always been accurate.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too, guys, and remember this. I also teach this in Spirit Guide Basics class. Sometimes stuff gets in the way of the channel. Stuff with not good intentions. And that's where that gut instinct comes in. Like, no, I don't think so.
Or your own grandma doesn't like a particular guy you've been dating.
Exactly.
Passed, yet they're going to say that person's saying no, but spirit's saying yes. So there's that as well. Like that's a perfect example of what you're trying to say, I think.
Kind of, sort of. Sarah, or cards flip up in a deck, that happens too. Yep. Hold on. Yes, what I'm figuring out. Spirit wants me to share my light. I also call blue jays and they come. I have connection with birds.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. That's awesome.
Nice.
I call eagles. I mean,
yep.
Okay, you know what, guys, though? I'm going to need the 4 squirrels and stuff to come do my laundry and stuff. So that's the power I want. That's my connection to spirit right there.
I don't have time in my day to come do your laundry. No.
What? No, my washing machine's out again.
Oh, no.
Again. It's been out for a month. It was supposed to be fixed, and it's again. So I'm tying a U-Haul line from my tree to my deck. I set desk out for clothespins, and I've got a kiddie pool that we don't use anymore. So Arthur and I are going to be in there jumping up and down on the clothes in the backyard.
I'll tell you. I mean, your whites can get really white out in that sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Because I am tired. The last time I went to the laundromat and it was like half of what I needed to do.
Right.
It cost me $70.
Holy cow.
Kind of money?
Yeah. It's like 8 or 9.
You need some Kofax. Our laundromat's awesome and it doesn't cost that much.
Well, still the gas money would kill me. But because I'd have to go back and forth.
Or you can hang out with me and we can just do it.
Nice. I can do that.
What were you saying, Sheena? I'm sorry.
Go for it.
I can't remember my train of thought.
Hold on. Here we go. Sarah, I also speak light language to Mother Gaia, and it's so beautiful. I have videos. Oh, that's neat.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to friend me on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'd love to share with y'all. Okay, awesome.
Friend me on Facebook, Sheena Jacobus.
Sarah, follow me if you want beautiful souls. Okay,
yep,
cool, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway,
that's about like kind of where I was with everything. Let me just look over notes real quick. The trinkets you buy, which we kind of went over that. The books, the jewelry, aura pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I love aura pictures. I think people should get them done.
Yeah.
At least I kind of do mine once every few years or whenever I feel like I need it.
But you have to do it with an authentic aura photo taker.
Right.
Believe me,
yes.
not all are authentic.
No, they're not.
The Kennedys are awesome. There are a couple other people. One girl I will recommend.
Didn't the Kennedys sell theirs to those other people though?
I'm not sure.
They might have.
But Villery, he's authentic. The one that was in the fair, I know that.
Love him.
Yes.
Yes.
And
I do have his number, and you need to keep reminding me on that.
Okay, call him. But anyway,
I know.
The other one I will recommend is Sheeman Aberhoff Phillips. She is amazing. She doesn't just do aura photography. It's like aura photography on steroids. I recommend that everybody go and get one from her. She was able, I was really skeptical at first, so I sat down in front of her.
Where's she out of?
Oh God, she's out of Iowa, but she tromps all over Wisconsin and everything else. She was a staple at our fairs for a while when we were at the fairgrounds, but I think she's busy doing other stuff because we had to take a break.
Right.
Anyways, but she keeps herself really busy. But
I hear that.
I sat down in front of her, and I always do this when I'm super skeptical, and I'm like, okay, I need a reading. La di da. Man, she read me. And then she read Arthur, my son, through me.
Oh, wow.
What? And she's like, boom, 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 boom. And this is what they're going to diagnose him with. And boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
You're the real deal. Skepticism done. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah. She is really, truly amazing. I believe she still has the same setup, and I'd love to have her back in the fairs because, man, she is good.
Mm-hmm.
She is the one I recommend everybody to, at least now.
Right.
Hold on. Sarah, I'm still here, guys, watching, not leaving. Sheena, I'll add you. Sarah, is that your FB?
Well, don't leave me out. I'm AngelLynn.
My Facebook name is Sheena Jacobus or Divine Feminine Beauty, either one.
Yeah. But we're also on Lisa's site too, so that helps.
And then, okay, Sarah, can you put link to your FB in chat?
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, she would just have to look on your friend's thing, wouldn't she?
I don't publicize my Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
So you can also find mine under Pagan Artist Spotlight on both Facebook and YouTube.
And I'm on yours, and I know Sheena is. I think, Sheena, you're on his, aren't you?
Yep, I'm going to comment so she can find me.
Okay.
I was going to say now, I believe all of you guys are on the Des Moines New Age Shop page. And you can find them there.
I guess that's what I meant. Was
okay.
That one.
Okay. And then Sarah, if not, I'll have to look you up. Sarah, yes. And Sarah, okay. And Sheena, hi, it's me. Okay. Sarah, thank you.
He found you. Let's see. Walk around, see who you connect with. I think I've gone over everything like my notes, but obviously everybody has great ideas. Earl, we can hear from you some more, and Sheena.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on the walk around and make a loop, look at everything. Because I know one of my big problems is I will spend all my money like on all the shiny things right up front.
Right.
You know, I wanted that and I would work that, you know.
Well, the thing is, I've got multiple stashes. I'm like, okay. You know, I've been here. People go to the strip club. Man, I'm going to crystal shops.
Right.
I get this rain, baby. I keep telling Dennis, you have to tell me no. He's like, is it going to do any good? I'm like, maybe. He's like, no, it's not. And sure enough, I'm like, it's like, no, honey, you said to say no. I'm like, just this one more thing. Don't worry, I've got it. He's like, you see what I mean?
Right.
See, I would trust you wholeheartedly because the Taurus energy, you guys know what you want. You are
right
with the money.
Oh, dude, though, you get me around crystals, it's bad. It's an addiction. That's why I opened up my own shop, okay?
I agree. I think a lot, especially newer psychics or newer people introducing to it, when you first start working with crystals and stones, it is very addicting.
Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm like, 3 or 4 decades in, and
right?
Guess what? It doesn't go away. It's never going to go away.
Yeah. Hey, you could have a worse addiction.
I could be on drugs.
Yeah.
You hear that, honey? Anyway, I'm teasing. Actually, he's really good about it. So anyway.
You're really knowledgeable about them too.
Thank you. Actually, it was interesting. Wade asked me privately where I got all my knowledge of crystals, and I haven't answered him yet because there are times when I'm just sitting there staring at you guys' message, and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell to say to this. Can't I just say it telepathically or by interpretive dance or something? But I feel sorry for Sheena. She asked me a question and I'm sitting there looking at it going,
I don't know.
You know, and she's like, wow, it took you the whole day to get back to me, huh? Yep.
I'll say nothing about that because sometimes I imaginary message people back.
Right? Thought I hit sent.
Don't you guys know telepathy is faster?
It really is.
Oh my God.
Speaking of which, Alicia, dear, make sure that you've got some Apache tear on hand
Mm-hmm.
when I get down there.
Always. Sweetie, that's a staple of the shop. Obsidian, Apache tear, black tourmaline, selenite, and clear quartz, of course, and citrine and amethyst, because Iowa is apparently an amethyst state. Some states are not amethyst states, but Iowa is an amethyst state, which is interesting.
What does that mean?
That means you have to have amethyst always on hand because it's incredibly popular here. But if you think about it, there is a lot of drinking. There's a lot of drinking. There's a lot of substance stuff going on here, and amethyst does help block that out. But no, those stones will always be in the shop. They will always be. If I'm out of them, you know something's really wrong.
Right.
Somehow or another, mine wound up walking out the door. I don't know how. But
that just means it's time to go. That's okay. You just need a new one.
Else. Yeah.
Let it go. It either needs a good long cleansing or it needs to be with the person.
Yeah, I see myself as like a stone giver. Like I buy so many stones and then I end up giving them all away.
Same.
Like, how do you ever let them go?
I just do. Like I have like a pile I give to like I set on my altar for like my dragon lair. But if they don't go in the dragon box, then usually I'll see somebody and I just give them away.
Spirit has a lot to do with that. They'll just be like,
sorry, no.
They need that stone. So.
Not ever under any circumstances, baby.
Like I am a leprechaun and nobody's getting my pot of gold ever.
Right.
I'm going to be buried with my crystals. If Arthur does
the fairies, they love little trinkets and stuff. So, you know.
If Arthur doesn't get them, yep, they're going with me. People are going to lift the casket and be like, why the hell is it so goddamn heavy?
Right.
It's got rocks in it, baby.
You know? We need everybody to come lift.
They're like, oh, no. You know?
Right.
Oh.
I picked up some actually surrounding petrified wood today.
Oh, nice.
I got 3 new pieces and it's really awesome.
See, that stuff doesn't light me up.
It doesn't light me up. It does when I need grounded. That actually helps me, and it does help in the outer world when you have a child that's always out there when they're shaking. I put it under the bed, and it works like a charm.
Okay. See, you know what does pull on me? That's in the petrified wood category. Well, of course, amber. You guys know I love amber.
Oh yeah, me too.
But Jet is actually in the petrified wood family.
I did not know that.
Oh my God, I love that stuff. I could just make a teddy bear out of it and sleep with it. It's just like, oh yes. I just ordered some new stuff in because I was.
I'm not even sure I've seen that.
I'll show it to you next time you're in. But
well, I'll be Saturday. I'll be in.
Oh, you're gonna like what I did with the stone wall.
Oh, sweet. I was actually gonna announce that I will be there Saturday.
Good.
You know, are you gonna be able to come Saturday to visit?
I will be there hanging out with you Saturday.
Yay.
Really?
Yep.
So you're coming in?
Yep.
Well, to visit, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I asked Alicia about the reading, so I might do that too. But either way, I'm just gonna be up to. I need to get out.
Cool.
Awesome.
I was gonna say, so updated the stone wall.
What about names? Like, okay, because I know they go by metaphysical or psychic show, or is there any other names that you can think of?
Holistic fairs.
Yep. Okay.
Spirit fairs.
Okay.
Let's see.
Because somebody might want to, like know what they're walking into. Just saying.
Okay, if it says anything about shaman, Reiki, psychic, tarot,
Right.
sage, herbs, honestly, anything, even if you're going to
Right.
the damn Ren Fair nowadays, you
Yeah.
put the stuff on you and you keep it tight
Mm-hmm.
because people be crazy. They're
Yeah,
doing
they are.
crazy stuff. And the other thing is, a lot of the newcomers don't know much about working with ley lines, or that you have to be careful when you're doing the stuff on top of one.
Ley lines are really, yeah, they're for that, like,
Sheena, how much do you know about them?
Ley lines, I don't know exact locations of every one of them, but I know
obviously no, but
you can't. Yeah, that's
but
yeah.
ley lines are like energetic centers where energy travels through. And like Cedar Rapids is a good example. I talk about all the time.
That one is soured.
Yeah.
Sorry, baby.
Bad energy, bad ley lines, but it needs to be cleared. But basically what happens is if you have enough negative energy, it like goes into these energy centers inside the earth, and the whole earth is connected by an energy grid with these ley lines.
Absolutely. Yep.
I am so happy that you know that, because a lot of people aren't really aware of it.
They don't know what it means. Yeah. I mean, I can see grids.
Energetic veins of the earth. And if you really want to get out there, did you know it doesn't just run through the earth? It actually runs through all over galaxies, different planets and stuff.
I did. Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. You can sour a ley line or you can be over a good one, but either way, you have to be really careful. If you're over a good ley line, and these are veins, you've got nodes, think of them like blood vessels, okay? Yeah. If you're over one of them and it's sour, it's going to do horrible stuff.
You'll feel it. When I drive, like, because I love going on road trips, like, I mean, you'll go up one hill and it's like, oh, this feels so good. Drop down that hill. Oh, what the hell happened here? Yeah. They can be very intense, actually.
And Cedar Rapids, the way that one's set up, it almost traps you there.
Yeah. It does. No, I have a fun story about Cedar Rapids for another time, but yeah, Cedar Rapids and Marion area, you could not pay me to do a fair there, and you couldn't pay me to even drive through it, because it's nasty. Okay, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the flood. I don't know what it is. I've got a couple of clients, every time they go up there, they've actually had to stop going up there because their spouses are from that area. They go back to see family, but every time they would go up there, they would get sick. They would get metaphysically attacked and everything like that. So now their spouses go up there and they stay home. They're just like, no, I'm not doing this no more.
Wow.
You know,
I have to go through, and I protect myself just going through. Like, I'm afraid it's going to trap me again.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. Nah. It can't touch you now, girl. You're too powerful.
No, I would definitely say avoid it if you can.
Right.
Can you avoid Cedar Rapids and Marion?
No.
See, unfortunately, yeah. But I mean, I can block it too. That's what I do. I just don't let it affect me. Even when I'm driving through those lands. I mean, I've got some stories with, Highway 6 here.
But as I was saying, if you're over a ley line and you're not checking, it can do a lot of damage either way.
So let me ask you this for the people out there is, so if you're over one, you might feel off, but what if you do nothing? I mean, like, how are they going to, someone new, I guess, actually, is it just a tinge or is it like?
No. With a ley line, when you're over a good one, when you're over a healthy ley line, you'll know. You're going to be more energetic. You're not going to need as much sleep. Your body pain's going to dull out. You're going to be healthier, and it's going to be more of a supercharge, okay?
Yes, that's what I wanted to tell them. Good. I love that.
If you stay there for too long, you're going to get a little buzzy and a little twitchy. I will say that.
Right? Or lightheaded, even.
Yep. But it will also supercharge anything you're doing. It's like plugging yourself into a battery, so you got to be careful. If you're over a bad one, you're going to get more tired, more depressed. You're going to have more body pain, more illness. Like if you get a cut, all of a sudden it's going to get infected. It's just all this stuff is going to go wrong. Plus, it's going to attract a lot of negative entities and negative energy because that's what its vibration is. Like attracts like. Okay. This opposite attracts. That only works with magnets and love. Okay.
Right.
Everything else like attracts like. So it's going to pull in a lot of negative stuff. And if you are doing either psychic work, spell work, healing work, anything like that, it's all going to be tainted with that. And when you're over a bad ley line, or a sour ley line, I should say, there are no bad ones, but there are sour ones. Think of it like blood poisoning. Okay. When you're over one of those, you're also going to get a lot more of entities kind of coming in. When you're trying to connect up to your higher self, your spirit guides, your angels, whatever, you're going to have a lot more entities hitching a ride in and talking through you and using you as a mouthpiece to spread more chaos, which they then feed on.
Yep.
So yeah, fun stuff, right?
Something I wholeheartedly believe, so putting thoughts in your head that aren't yours, I'm going off the subject, but evil can put thoughts in your head, but it cannot hear your thoughts. It's just kind of a tool to know and be aware of in case, you need to protect yourself. You can do it in your head, and the higher self will take, can't say they'll take care of it 100% because sometimes it just depends. But
sometimes it's also part of your lesson plan. Okay.
Correct.
There is a lot of lesson plans that are not
right.
particularly pleasant. How's that? But no, with the negative entities and negative energy and stuff like that, you just want to be aware of it, and you have to know your own inner voice really, really well. Right. And as a psychic, whether it's new, old, in between, you have to know it doubly well because you're dealing with a lot of other voices up there. Which sounds a little bit cray-cray, but hey,
Oh, but Spirit will give you that confirmation. Even if it sounds crazy, you get confirmation.
Also, Sarah Reading Steiger, I want you to message me through the shop's page so as we can chit chat a little bit, because I would love to have you on as a panelist one of these times. I think that'd be really fun. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like, hold on, here we go. That's the link to the shop page. Sounds like it would be a lot of fun all the way around.
For sure.
Now, Earl, we haven't heard a lot from you, so.
Yeah, I'm done. It's all you. You're on the stage now.
How is it the Sagittarian always ends up being the quietest on the show? That is just crazy.
Well,
Sheena?
not to mention he's the only man.
Why?
What? What was that?
There are times you get a word in edgewise.
I was going to say, we're a bunch of chatty Cathys tonight.
We got something to talk about.
Right.
And my second cup of coffee of the day is kicking in hard. Yeah.
I was going to say, I just drank a gallon.
There you go. Now I got to do the water.
Same.
I've had my two. But and also if you happen to be right at where two ley lines cross.
That is a wild time.
Where what crosses? Two lanes or
two ley lines?
Oh, right.
When you have a node, that's multiple ones, but when you have that cross, it's like whee!
Right.
Especially if it's a good one.
Do you guys know any books on that? Because I try to look into that. And
Old Straight Track. The Old Straight Track by Albert Watkins.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the original.
I'll have to see if I can find one through my sources.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of books on that, actually.
No, there's not. Destiny Taylor just popping in quick to say hi. So hi.
Hey,
Destiny.
Hi.
Hey, if you have any advice on what people should be looking for when they first pop into a psychic fair, put it in the comments, please. Earl, hi Sarah, this is me. Okay, cool. I was going to say also, Sheena, in the next issue of Celestial Imprints, I'm going to be putting in an article on ley lines.
Oh, good.
And also,
which when I come to the shop tomorrow, I'm going to have to look at the magazines that you have coming out too, because I want to get one of those.
Yep.
And actually, Sheena, I do have distributor discount rates if you want to have it in your shop, if you want to have both ones in your shop.
Oh, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be
Okay,
great.
cool. I'm not giving you a distributor discount, Earl, though.
Yep. And for those tuning in and who will be attending the Psychic Fair in October, here you go.
Yeah.
You better save me one or two.
Yeah, save me one too.
Yeah. I got dibs on it. When was it last week?
This is the Pagan Chronicle newspaper out of Utah.
Right. I can't wait to read that one.
I am now the Midwest distributor for the
Yay.
Hell yeah.
So for those of you who are tuning in new, if you want one, hit me up.
All right. So.
What was the name of that book again, Alicia?
The Old Straight Track. Actually, let me pull it up because they just did a reprint on Amazon. I was so happy.
Really?
I searched through everything to find my copy, the little, the little pocket-sized book edition.
Right.
It's all torn up and stuff. But they did a reprint on Amazon. Guys, talk amongst yourselves while I go look it up, and then I'll put it in the thing. Hold on.
Because I try to look up information, especially for Iowa, trying to, figure out ley lines and stuff. There's just nothing.
Actually, the ley lines are not very well discussed, which is interesting.
And not at all. They should be.
But keep in mind, most people say it's fictional, and then originally it was only thought to run from sacred site to sacred site.
Now when you can see an energy grid that I have on camera. So they've proven energy.
They were also once upon a time, I believe, in Asia called dragon lines. Hold on. Let me look this up.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if I know of any pagan authors that have done books on ley lines.
Most of them won't because everybody filters it under fiction.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Exactly. Hold on. No, not at all. That's the energy we feel throughout the earth.
I think that's like
that's
the one
portals.
Doesn't
Here it is. Okay. Oh my God. All right. All right. This is a little bit more than I had originally seen it for. Oh, well, that's why. Mass market paperback. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Now this is the original text on it. This is the original one, but there have been more books since.
What year was it? The original one?
Hold on.
Okay.
Give me a minute. Share screen. Here it is. Okay. You guys see that? The Old Straight Track by Alfred Watkins. And this was originally published in 1925.
I thought it was about that time.
Yeah, so it's going to have a lot of outdated stuff in it, but this is the original one, and this is what I say you guys need to start with.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it.
Yes. Yeah,
people to do more work in that because it's really important.
Yeah, it is.
The thing I don't see a lot of information on in the spiritual community.
Right.
That's because a lot of people in the spiritual community either don't know about it or they file it under fiction. Unfortunately, I am here to tell you it is absolute
or
true.
Don't believe it. Yeah.
It's true. And all you've got to do is walk from one place to the next. Yeah. There are practitioners who actually, they can purposefully mess up a ley line.
Yeah.
The ways to do that are very sick. They're very sick and twisted. Okay. But they do it. I know a couple that were hired to sour a ley line. And I've been able to watch the effects, and it's not a pretty thing.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
That's what I'm curious is having such a change up of energy between moving out of Cedar Rapids and into a new area. And it's like, okay, well, what caused that to be the way it is there? Was it a historic event? Like what soured so much there that it's like a vortex of doom?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, you can sour it purposefully. Sometimes environmental changes. Sometimes if you just get a hardcore enough conglomeration of negative energy, but it would have to be really bad. I will tell you, one of the things you're looking for, murders on top of nodes, things like that, but you have to get it on the right node. Okay. I mean, and it's just not, it's not good. But the Lakota and some of the other Indian tribes knew some about this, and they would schedule group dances and stuff on the line to reverse energy. Sometimes you can actually use iron nails to reverse some of polarity, but honestly, to clean a line, it takes a lot of psychic and energy work.
Yeah.
And it takes more than one.
I wonder since the name of like, if that's the reason why some of them are so soured, is because those traditional practices are
not done.
Right.
Yep. And now I'd love to see somebody try and get a whole community out to dance on something. Yeah, right. Okay. You know, but honestly, I was
they're obviously important because weren't like sacred pyramids and different things around the world on ley lines that connect.
Yes, that is correct.
That's also the reason why when it comes to gathering other nations, they will choose a specific location.
Yep.
One of the things I was always very surprised about is that the pagan prides never held themselves, and the pagan gatherings never held themselves on top of the ley lines to keep them clean. I would have figured that they would have been the primo spot for it, or the primo people to do it. And a lot of them, when I talked to them, they didn't even believe in it. I was like, okay, well, alrighty then. You know? So yeah, it's been very, very interesting.
It's like to be like, Native Americans, we need you.
I know, right? You guys need to come on back and do your thing, because oh my God.
And they're sitting there going, we tried to tell you.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I would be curious. I would love to look up, because Chinese, Vietnamese, stuff like that, Japanese, they have their own superstitions about the ley lines. I would love to find some information, to be able to find some information on what they did to care for theirs.
Yeah.
But I can't find a damn thing.
The thing is, I think it's like lost knowledge or something, because nobody.
No, they keep it to themselves.
I know, right? I'm like,
hey, Alicia, try .org when you're looking stuff up instead of .com.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's kind of where a lot of secrets get hidden, and people don't realize that.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to Asian traditions, they don't share that with everybody. They keep that to themselves.
They keep it a little more quiet, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they have their own way about things, definitely.
Oh, yep. And Judy, I completely agree with you. Judy, if information on ley lines was more commonly available, there would be more belief. Well, okay, maybe 50-50. There'd still be naysayers, right?
Well, yeah.
Ghosts don't exist. Ley lines don't exist. Everything's fine.
Right.
There are always those people that are going to say that no matter what. But you are, I do believe you're right, Judy. But also, hey, that's why I have a magazine and I'm publishing books. So you know what? It's going to be out there one way or the other, right?
Right, exactly.
Somebody needs to do it, because I think it's important.
It's very important.
Marv. Anyways. All right, homie boos. I am going to pull Dennis on real quick to get his take on this topic, because he's had multiple years running the Des Moines New Age Fair. So we are going to see what he has to say. Like I said, I was hoping that Stevie would be able to join us as well, to kind of give a balanced perspective. Okay, hold on here. Boop. And that's if he hasn't toddled off to do something else. Earl, what do you have to say on people walking into psychic fairs? What's your advice?
Well, for one, if you are psychically intuitive, keep your shields up. because not everybody is going to, not everybody's going to have positive energy about them. And basically, there are times that you will, it's like walking right straight into a brick wall.
Yeah, good point.
Literally. And that's the reason why I tell people go into these fairs with a positive mindset.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're not going to be well received.
There's that too. You can close yourself off so much that you're not going to get the message you need either.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and so when you're going, I mean, also have fun with it too. You know,
Yeah.
this is very serious stuff, and people our emotions are attached to a lot of this stuff. So I understand that and I get that, but also life, you know, it gets in the way. So have some fun with it.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Yep. And basically talk to people, get to know them, especially talk to the vendors. Don't be standoffish. And
Yeah.
you're
If
not
you
going to learn anything that way.
Well, no, and I know it can be hard to talk to people, and a lot of people are shy. Hey, I'm the same way, but one of the things is if you feel like you can't talk to anybody at a fair, if you feel like you can't say hi to anybody, if you're getting that vibe of why am I here, and it's not just your own personal insecurity, there's something wrong.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Get your money back, walk right back out.
Walk around.
Yeah.
See what you can learn.
Mhm.
But if you don't feel good there, that's probably time to walk around and go.
Yep.
Dennis, hey, you with us?
Yeah, something's gone wrong if I'm on here.
Oh, Jesus. So, Dennis, now you facilitated the Des Moines New Age and Psychic Fair for a few years. Tell me, as somebody going into a psychic fair, metaphysical fair, spirit fair, what have you, what would be some advice for patrons going into a fair?
The coordinator of the fair, the gut person who is actually setting everything up, is more likely than not very busy, has a million things going on at once. So do your research, pull up a map, and find the local hotels.
Oh, for the love of God, Dennis!
Okay.
And by the way, we have them listed on our website now because I rebuilt the website.
Good job.
Thank you.
Bazinga.
Murph.
With that being said, though, they are very busy, and sometimes you just don't get a chance to talk to them. So, Dennis, with that being said, what should they do if they can't talk to, the facilitator?
Well,
see, I always use this fancy new tool called Google.
Sheena. What happened to Sheena?
I'm willing to bet she suddenly got disconnected.
Somebody light a candle. Sheena, we feel you with us. We feel your presence. Come back to us.
But yeah, no, if you can't talk to the facilitator, this handy dandy tool called the internet and Google will be more than happy to find you a hotel in the area that you're searching. Or there are plenty of other travel sites, like I personally use Priceline.
Right.
All right, but there's also Orbitz and Travelocity and my wife sneezing and there are plenty of other options out there as far as finding accommodations. Hell, Airbnb is an option that'll definitely get you into the area.
Okay, moving on from accommodations. What about the people walking into the fair, the consumer?
Right.
What kind of energy should they avoid if they're walking in and they don't feel good about the place? How can they handle it? Stuff like that, Dennis.
If they don't feel good about the place, don't go in.
Mm-hmm.
And it might sound simple, but some of the best problems are solved by avoidance.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
I said some of the best problems. One of the best ways to solve problems is by avoidance.
Not one of the best ways, but
God, you can tell I'm getting old.
By the way, everybody, his birthday is today, so let's all wish
happy
Dennis a happy
birthday. I should have remembered that.
Don't worry about it.
That also means AngelLynn is coming up soon.
Yeah, but I got a couple weeks. I'm actually into June.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're at the end of June, that makes you a Cancer.
No, into June.
Into June.
Yeah, yours is in May.
See,
or did you not know that?
Oh God!
I mean, it is today, May 22nd.
Oh, it is? Oh, damn! I've been putting the 20th on everything. I don't know what day it is. I really don't.
Yep.
I don't blame you. It's rough.
But that's why I also chose the coolest turtle to be my icon tonight.
Nice.
I do like my turtles. They're pretty cool creatures.
Yeah, but can yours use nunchucks?
Nope. They don't have superpowers.
For the people that are only listening and not viewing, Dennis has his icon up of Michelangelo of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, and they are cool. But no, we were just talking about like energies they should avoid, protection they should go in with, not taking small children and babies in without ample protection on them, and keeping the extremely little kids closer to the mom because the mom has the shield bubble.
Yeah, definitely keep the kids with mama. If mama doesn't want to take the kids in there, then don't take the kids in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially there's too many people willing to siphon away the life energy of a child in one of these places.
Actually, you're right. And it's not just
that's the main point of what you
it's not just psychics or readers. You also have to contend with the other patrons.
Right.
And you are right, Dennis. A lot of them are not there for good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of morally gray psychic vampires that hit up psychic bears because of the excess of energy. I mean, it's a smart way to go about it, but it's a little bit ruthless when it comes to kids.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, and going into a place like going into any place normally, there's always going to be somebody there that wants to shit on your Wheaties.
Wow.
Right, Earl?
Yep.
Exactly. Oh, Jesus.
Yep. I agree.
Well, and okay, with that being said, that's a very good statement to make because, not every reader's there for the kindness of their heart, or they are only there for the money or whatever. So that's where your gut instinct comes in and use your knowing and all the things that we just discussed tonight.
Well, actually, fun story, and I won't name any names because I don't cancel and I don't dox people, but I do know of one reader that does hit up the fair circuit. They have no problem giving out free readings and all that kind of stuff. They love making money, but they got no problem giving out free readings. And do you want to know why? Because
it lures people away from the ones that are charging.
Oh, no.
Then it builds up a client base.
No, actually, that would be a smart business practice, but no, because they take their price one way or the other. This particular reader actually sucks out energy. They suck a massive amount of energy when they're doing the reading. So while the person's distracted with the questions and everything, they're just pulling and siphoning and pulling and siphoning and pulling and siphoning. And I'm just looking at them, and I've sat back and I've watched this, and I'm like, wow, okay, I guess that's one way to get your fee no matter what.
There's a puppy.
Oh, she just jumped off the bed. She ran away. She usually comes and visits at some point.
It was a bully.
It is a bully. She is. She's getting a boyfriend soon.
Oh wow. Okay, then you're gonna have all the puppies.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have all the puppies, AngelLynn. Are you ready for that?
So
Not answering.
anyway,
No, I'm kidding.
so you said siphoning and sucking and siphoning and sucking.
Basically, yeah. And this particular reader had a very interesting health condition that they stumped the doctors by how they healed it. They just had to hit up a few of the fairs. So yeah, it does work, but that is incredibly ruthless to do.
Right.
Yep.
Because
There's only one person I could think of that might do that.
They're pulling enough energy off of people to actually make a dent in these people's physical health and things like that. But at the same time, if you're that sick, you're going to need to heal yourself. And if you have access to it, I do understand it. I'm not endorsing it, but
right. Well,
practically
not at all.
Yeah. So yeah.
It sounds nothing like my mother.
You ever see me breaking out the salt?
Yeah, I know. Like, oh God.
Yeah. You ever see me breaking out the salt to do a salt circle? You'll know why.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, there's a lot of things.
There she is. Is it Josie?
So also keep in mind, if you feel particularly tired or just like drug and wrung out after walking by a booth, because it doesn't need to be a reader to do this. Vendors, patrons, sometimes even a fair promoter can do this. So be careful.
Right.
Like I said, not everybody has the best intentions. Most people, that's not their intention, okay? Heck, I know one reader, they can actually, they've hooked it up so, and this is really interesting, they can siphon energy through text. So even if you hit their Facebook page or website, you get siphoned.
But I can read through a text too, so I understand that completely.
I never even knew that was possible.
Oh yeah. Email, text, yep.
We were actually looking through a few things, me and Nicole, and it actually hit Nicole. I hadn't told her anything about it. And she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like,
wow.
Okay. I guess I wasn't hallucinating.
Right.
Blind study. But
yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to hop off, you guys.
Actually, I'm thinking about hopping out too.
Yeah. It was a good show though. It was great.
Well, thanks.
By the way,
suggesting the idea.
Oh, hey, Alicia.
Yes.
I know I'm kind of a Dennis come lately to this party.
Yo.
But did you see what Judy Zeitz said?
Yeah, if information on ley lines was more commonly available, there would be more belief. And in the second issue of Celestial Imprints magazine, I'm going to be updating and publishing my ley lines article.
Well, I mean, doesn't mean we can't have that be our subject next week.
Honestly, I'm good at it, but I would want somebody that's a true expert on it to talk, you know? Mm-hmm. And I don't know of anybody who's actually an expert. That's the only problem.
I mean, look at Earl. Tell me anyone who's gotten laid more than him.
Okay, you know what? I'm done.
I mean, and the line is there.
I'm done.
Poor Earl. Good night, Earl. Bye, guys.
I mean, he looks like Earl to me looks like an expert on ley lines. So
I wouldn't go that far.
Hey.
Oh, Jesus, Dennis. Well, Earl, so why do you keep coming back for this abuse? Why do you keep coming back for it?
I don't know, honestly. You were the one who wanted me on here.
No, I'm talking to Earl. Why do you keep coming back for this abuse, Earl?
I have no clue, but
okay.
I thought I was paying him a compliment, honestly. But hey.
All right, Earl. So you know all about ley lines, do you? Woo!
I mean, he might.
No.
he might not be like that girl at the beginning of the year wanted to break the world's record.
No.
Now that's a ley line.
Oh my God, Dennis, no more. Jesus.
With that being said, I'm gonna say good night.
Good night, Earl.
Good night, Earl.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have a topic you would like to discuss, or if you have a guest you would like me to bring on, please message DesMoinesNewAge.com or Des Moines New Age on Facebook, anything like that. Mwah. Loves to you all. Oh, and Sheena just messaged, sorry, my phone died. Oh, no worries, Sheena. We love you anyway.
It happens to the best of us.
And I will see you this Saturday. So, all right, my dear. Yeah. I think I'm going to turn in for the night. I'm turning into a pumpkin. All right.
You look
Loves
like a
you
puppy to me. But
good night, folks.
Peace upon you all.
Bye-bye, butterflies. See you next week. Like, comment, and subscribe. And